page 114. That's Daf Nun Zayin Amud Beis. Sagt der Rebbe, ach omno. We said that you just like Ahava without Yida is not enough. You have to have Yida that in Perek Mamalaf as Avedis Ovid. Yida without Ahava is not enough. And you have to have also Ahava, which he says the closest Avedis Ben. But in the previous Shir, he translated what's meant Ben. Liskir Avos Hashem L'Dofka Bei, right? But what's Avos Hashem to be attached to the Eibishter, right? Now he introduces you to the union of Ben, which is Kvayacha, you're doing it for the Eibishter. However, Omnam. Nevertheless, or still, Omer Azal says in Chazal, Eila Ma Yetzi Adamatrim Min HaKlal. A person should never remove himself from the klal. And because a person not permitted to remove himself from the klal, Lochein, therefore, Yiskaven, a Yid should have Kavanah. When he's doing Teirin mitzvahs, to unify and to attach oneself to the Eibishter. The root of his godly soul. And the root of the souls of all Jewish people. Which is actually the air of the Eibishter's mouth. Which is called Shechina. The Shadish of the Shamas Yisrael is Shechina, called Knesset Yisrael, or Shechina al Shem. Why is it called Shechina? Because it's the Madrega of Elokus Sheshechenes and Mislabeshes Techolam, which manifests and reveals itself Techolam into the worlds. Lachayim, to give them life, or Lachayim, to give them existence. Zakter v'hihi, and this Madrega of Shechina, which is the marker of Neshamas Yisrael and the marker of his Neshama as well. Hamashpaz Bey, which is bringing a flow of a Chayis into him. This power to say the words with which he's speaking, or the power of action with which La says mitzvah to do this commandment. La says mitzvah to do this mitzvah. Right? So a person knows that there's a madrege called Shechina, which that Shechina is a getlach a koyach, that gives him a koyach to learn Torah, to do mitzvahs, and what he wants to do is to be miyached, not himself with the Eibishter, but to miyached his mucker with the Eibishter. In other words, in yesterday's shir we said L'Dofka Bei Yizbarach, you should become attached to the Eibishter, right? Now he's saying to be miyached, not you, but your mucker. Malchus of Atzil should become a yuchad with Ein Sof. Huh? This is called Lishma, right? This is called L'Shem Yichud Kosher B'Richu Shechinte. Well, it's Lishma in a gewissen prat. So there's higher madreges in Lishma also. Says Rebbe v'yichud zeh, how do you unify not yourself with Elokus, but Elokus with Elokus? Shechina, Knesset Yisrael with Elokus. Hoydam Shachas Eritzei Baruch Olamata, by bringing that in Sof Lamata. How do you bring in Sof Lamata? The Eisek HaTeirah, mitzvahs, you're learning Teirah and doing mitzvahs. Okay, shehu melubish bahen, that in Teirah and mitzvahs you have Ein Sof, v'yiskaven, and the person's kavanah should be lahamshach eidei yitzbarach, to bring on the Eibishter's light, not only on his own neshama, but al maked nafshe, on the root of his soul. When the Fasha is called Beis Yisrael, the souls of all Yidden, leyachton, to effect a union between Shechina and Kodesh B'richu, between Malchus of Atzilus and Elokus and Zoh. Ugmeshukos of Lakam is going to be explained later on. Pirush Yichud Zeh, the meaning of this Yichud Barichas at length Sham, and I think this means Perek Mem Dalet, which I'm not sure about. So here's a whole new union from Ben. It's not the pshat, I'm connecting myself to the Eibishter. That would be called the light of the Nafshe. This is about connecting my mocker with the Eibishter, which is an infant l'shem yichud, which is an agvisa madrega, infant of this ben. I'm doing the Eibishter a favor. I'm doing Getlachkeit a favor. It's not about me, but I'm yachat shchina with the Eibishter. V'zehu pirush, which is the pshat in the Kabbalistic idea, l'shem yichud k'shabrichu shchinte b'shem kol Yisrael. To create a yichud between k'shabrichu, between Ein Sof and shchinte, which is the mocker of the Neshamas Yisrael. Now again, the mocker of Yidden is Shechina. Teirah mitzvahs is Kodesh B'richu is Ein Sof. And when I learn Teirah do mitzvahs, I can have a kavanah Teirah mitzvahs Dafka Bei Yizbarach to get myself to the Eibishter. And the Rebbe says I should do an avodah, which is connected to the union of Ben, not just to connect Kodesh B'richu Elokus with me, but to connect Elokus with my Shadish Malchus of Atzilus. And he adds the three words B'Shem Kol Yisrael. And you'll see later on, I believe, what's the dig B'Shem Kol Yisrael? The bottom line B'Shem Kol Yisrael means this is the same idea that I keep on telling you. That any avodah that involves Pintel Yid, we say me as a prat, forget about. But as part of Klal Yisrael, I have a shaykhs to it as well. Okay, now, Hagor. This also will sweeten Gvuras B'Chsadim. When was the last time we had the infant Amtakas Gvuras B'Chsadim? in Perek Mem. Nun hey Amen Aleph in the big Haggadah. What's the pshat I'm talking about Gvuras B'Chsadim? That when you're mamshich Ein Sof into a lower madrege, specifically into Malchus, and the inyan of Malchus is Tzimtzumim, so then you're mamtik Gvuras, that when the Eibishter makes a Tzimtzum, mamshich Chayis Alakus into the lower worlds, it's B'mdidav Agbala. When you sweeten the Gvuras, it comes with a much greater potency, it comes with a much greater flow, it comes with a much greater generosity. You follow what I'm saying? So before, in Perek Mem, Hamtaka, the Gvuras Chasadim went like this. Listen to how it went. It went like this. You do a mitzvah. Automatically, the minute you do a mitzvah, your mamshech ratzon ha'elyon erin tzav baruch. Now, there's even parcha liyela. Your mitzvahs rise up. What's the effect of parcha liyela? Either your mitzvahs go to the Esesiris of Asiyah Ruchnis, or to Yitzira, or to Bria, or to Atzilas, depending on the Madrig of Kavana, Kabbalah Seil, Tivim, Sichlim, and Merkava. Can you do? We spoke about this, I don't know how many times. But the Rebbe says there's two parts to it. What's the two parts? Your mitzvahs are parcha liyela to a particular world. In addition, you did Ratzon Ha'elyon. Because you did Ratzon Ha'elyon, you invented an Atzilas more Ein Sof. So there's two aspects here. The first aspect is, in Atzilas is Ein Sof. The second aspect is that because of your kavanah, you're Teirah Mitzvah to a particular world. And then the ha'ara from that Ein Sof, which is in Atzilus, comes down into the world where your Teirah Mitzvahs were deposited. Remember those 2 points. So essentially, the yichud happens in 2 steps. The first step of the yichud is in Atzilus, you create a yichud. That happens automatically. And the second step is that our order from the Ein Sof, which was Nisyached, with the Esfiras of Atzilus, is nimshach into whatever world it happens to be, where your Teirah and mitzvahs were deposited. But now he's talking about in Atzilus Taka. He's not talking about your mitzvahs going into Yitzira or to Bria. He's talking here about making a yichud between Sheirish Neshamas Yisrael, with Alakus, which is in Atzilus, right? Says the Rebbe, so in Atzilus is Yimtu Kugam Ken HaGevuras B'Chasadim, you're sweetening the Gevuras, the Tzimtzum of Seidesh Talshas, with more Gili Alakus. Memele. In other words, not in Bia, depending on which world you take the mitzvah went into, but again Atzilus. Because there's Behiskalus HaMidas. First of all, the Midas are interconnected. Chesed and Gevurah are interconnected. V'yichudam, and they become one. And second of all, or the real reason for it, is by revealing the will of Hashem, which is Oyer Ein Sof. HaMezgala, which is revealed Lamaila in Atzilus, right? So when we reveal Ein Sof in Atzilus, how do you reveal Ein Sof in Atzilus? You do more mitzvahs. Every mitzvah is Ratzon. Every mitzvah is Mamshech Ein Sof in Atzilus. So it affects that the Kelim of Atzilus become Miskalal and Misyached. And that's an even I'm talking about Gvuras B'Chsadim. And it's achieved B'Serusa D'Latat. It begins below. We do the mitzvah, which is Hu Gilui of Lamata B'Ezek Teirah mitzvahs, which is the revelation of it down here through learning Teirah and doing mitzvahs. Shem Yitzeni is Baruch, which is the will of the Eibishter. I don't know what the meaning of the word Gilui of is. Chayesmot Gilui of made. The Gilui of Ein Sof, the Gilui of Teirah mitzvahs. But the bottom line is we do mitzvahs on here in this world, and it creates a yichud between Kuchabrichu and Shchinte Lamaila. And the deal here is, this is not just something that I'm doing. For me, I'm doing it for Mekir Nefashis Kol Beis Yisrael. Bottom line is, mitzvahs come from Kesed. Which is the infant will of the Eibishter, which is Mekir HaChasadim, the source of Gili of Ein Sof in a very generous way. In other words, mitzvahs are Mamshech Oyer Ein Sof. So when I do mitzvahs, I have a kavanah for being miyached. So yesterday we learned I'm doing mitzvahs of Daf Gabay Yisbarach, that I should become Yichud Ein Sof. He says, today you're doing mitzvahs, that I should make a yichud, not just with myself and Ein Sof, but with Mekir Neshama Yisrael with Ein Sof, right? As I mentioned to you, the Yehuda was very critical of the fact that Chassidim say, L'shem Yichud, so that I begin to verstehen was meant L'shem Yichud. This is the end of the shir.